Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bushcraft family here. Ah, yes, I've been waiting for this to come out, and it's going to be a doozy. This is our shipping chain predictions for 2022. And a lot of the articles and stuff that I'm about to indulge you with are from the head guys in their fields, be it the truck drivers, the trucking companies, trains, from the boats to the port workers, all that stuff. They compiled a good list of people here that pretty much tell it how it is. And I'll go through a bit of it here and there, and try to keep it as fast as possible, as quick as possible. But you know how things go. Uh, and right now the supply chain is it's still pretty messed up, and more issues. We got port congestions, driver issues, mandates, laws from in different states like California, and yeah, we got the upcoming electric trucks and things like that to deal with, and it's going to be one heck of a year for trying to get the shipping or the supply chain fixed, if it can be fixed within this year. uh, I mean, they're just now unloading stuff from for Halloween, and the thing is, for Halloween, this stuff is supposed to have been here the beginning of last year, about now, because they get this stuff in, and it gets by the time it gets to the store, they have it stored in the back, so it's ready to go once the season comes around. Well, it 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 just got unloaded toward the end of Christmas time. So that tells you how far behind we are. So you got to consider all these holidays that uh, supplies and all this stuff, products were supposed to be here. Either kind of a good thing, we may get a lot of this stuff at cheaper prices, or we may be getting some older stuff for this year's season. Well, we will see. Okay, let's go and jump over here real quick, make sure it plops up, and there we go. Yes, we have our 2022. Woo! Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with trucks. And electric trucks will become bigger part of manufacturing in 2022. Um, Semiconductor storage that has hampered automotive and commercial vehicles production for months will remain. For how long is the question? Autonomous trucks will stay top of mind as the first highway driverless pilots are examined, and you get the gist of it. I've talked about this before, that there was other companies that were buying into this, and one of them was, um, they would have 8 trucks, 2 drivers for those 8 trucks. Now, the main driver would be in front, and all the other trucks in between were AI. So, and the guy in the back would be sleeping or whatever, taking his break, and it was AI also. Now, whenever it comes time for the front driver to log off because he put in his hours, he would take the position in the back, and the back driver would take the position in the front and motor on down the road. And the six other trucks were just AI, no drivers in them or anything like that. So that is one way they're introducing this to get further into no drivers, totally AI. And there are companies in Arizona that are already doing this with no drivers at all. So this is where we're headed. There's no hopscotching around it or anything like this. Our next thing is going to be our drivers. The biggest development in the issues of worker clarification and or classification in 2020 may get pushed into 2023. If it doesn't, then they're going to have major ramifications. And this, I'm going to go out and say it. It, as you can see down here, you can see a bit more of it. Basically, it is issues from regulations that California and some other states are putting on our trucks or drivers. Some of the things that they're wanting, it's about impossible for truck drivers. They have to jump through so many hoops in California to do anything now. And when they hand down citations and fines and this and that, nobody wants to drive. Nobody wants to pick up anything that's in the ports over there because of all this regulations and crap that they're being put through. And as you know, yeah, our president is getting involved in it. We'll just put it that, and it's not looking good. We'll skip the finance bit, regulations and logistics and stuff. It's yeah. Again, once you get this guy involved in it, nothing good has come from anything that he has done so far. It has done the opposite of it. And we're going to go down to our maritime. And yes, the sickness will remain a central variable for ocean shipping in 2022. The longer the pandemic lasts, the longer ocean supply chains will be disrupted. And the longer the freight rates will stay, it's just going to get higher and higher and higher and higher. And that's, we end up paying the blunt end of it because it all trickles down until it gets to us and then we pay it or we don't get it. The near term risk for U.S. imports is more about goods availability than cost. And unfortunately, that is true. China sticks to its zero sickness policy, and AMI, we'll call it AMI, spreads. Chinese exports are in danger. And Chinese exports means it's our imports. Other key issues to watch is the U.S. changes in its regulations of ocean carriers, what intended consequences emerge, how to retail inventory rations involved, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of it has to do with that Mr. Potato Head, his regulations that they've been putting on, and uh, more fines going out. And again, the fines will trickle down into what we have to pay for our stuff. And to me, who's getting the fines when these fines are millions and millions of dollars every day? Who's getting this money? Where's this money going? I searched and searched, and I see who's getting the money, but I don't see where that money's getting distributed to. Is it? I have a big idea where it goes, and unfortunately, it's not in my pocket. Um, um, Here we go. The air cargo. Air cargo has stepped up a big bit. It used to be it was mainly like FedEx and things like that, but we're finding that like Japan, they they got themselves three um, cargo jets to bring French fries over to Japan for McDonald's because they didn't have French fries. And there's other companies doing this. There's medical facilities getting prescription type stuff into United States this way because they just can't get it through the ports and whatnot. And they don't see any time that slacking off. If not more, they're going to be. And you have. I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but I have been getting a lot of reports here about why the airlines have been shutting their stuff down, canceling flights and whatnot. And it's not because people are sick. Well, it kind of is. Um, these places have been mandated to take the juice, and a lot of the pilots are having issues with this. And you can imagine what it might be, um, blood clots. And so they're having to cancel flights because they're we're running out of pilots, so to speak. And this is going to take a big hit with air cargo stuff. And then we have our rail system. Like I said, I didn't want to talk about that too much. For the rails, Surface Transportation Board, which the federal regulatory body governs rail related economic region, blah, 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 blah. Um, Again, they are wanting to get the government involved in this also. And it from what I gathered, and a lot of this is not in this little story here, but a lot of it is not looking good. As you can imagine, we want them to go to not using gasoline or coal or anything like that. So they're wanting to go to the electric trains per se. Uh, so they're wanting to do away with those other fuels and whatnot. It sounds good, but our grid is not equipped for this. Um, Plus, it sounds good on the West Coast. It may be a good thing in the West Coast, but during the wintertime, um, I don't see it working very well because the batteries that they use for these are a certain battery that cold is its enemy. It just zaps the heck out of it. And I don't see one of those trains making it through one of our cold states without having to stop somewhere and charge up. I just don't see it. Um, they may have other ways. I don't know. But I want to go ahead and skip down here a ways. We'll go down here too. Now we have the issues in the Mexico border and whatnot. But the one thing interests me quite a bit is our Canadian freight market. It's 700 billion in annual cross border trade with the U.S. But as we go down here a little bit more, we will see that there is a certain mandate that is coming very shortly. And they already are saying 20% of our trucks, just our trucks, our drivers, um, will be walking. And this is just uh, from Canada. 20% will be walking. Um, and we do get a lot of stuff from Canada. There's a lot of produce and stuff that we do get. You know, yeah, weird noise cats over there again. Um, so, and this was already brought up with another, like other companies, trucking companies that have more than 100 employees, and there are countless numbers of trucks or drivers that will be walking with this in this month. So that alone, where are these new drivers coming from? Of course, they're talking about bringing our National Guard in to drive for these companies, but you got to realize National Guard is is a part-time thing. They have their own jobs that they have to do to provide for their families and whatnot. So I don't know how this is going to work out for that. Um, but let me go ahead and switch this back and end this video. From all the reports that I read through this, I've read it like 3 times over just to get a good scope of everything. Um, they don't see anything improving at all. If anything, it's going to be getting worse because of the mandates, um, Big Brother stepping in and thinking they can control things and make it better, which a lot of times their involvement in this is what is breaking things. Like I said before, there's for our farmers and our meat and all that stuff, you just don't go and have a cow and it you cut all the meat up and you put it in the store. There's a process. It has to be approved by the FDA. You have to have a rating and all that stuff. before you can actually get it to the store and stuff. Same thing with eggs, chicken, milk, and everything else. And when they closed this place down, 2020, it it damaged the system so bad. And of course, that to me should have been an essential place that should have stayed open, and it didn't. And we're still trying to catch up from that. And it's hard to get any information from that now because it's so hush hush or what they are doing there and whatnot. Um, I've been trying to get information about that, and I'm just falling short trying to get it. But other than that, I did want to address one thing. I do get a lot of emails, a lot of good stories and stuff like this, but my inbox for my channel is like I have like over 4,700 emails that I haven't read yet. That I'll sit there for 2-3 hours going through them and stuff, and a lot of time, a lot of good stories and things like that, and people thanking me and this and that. But um, a lot of stories I miss because I don't get to them in time, and it just it bothers me because the people are putting in their time to email me this stuff, and I just can't get to it. I just don't have enough time in the day. Um, but those who um, have news stories and stuff like that that they think I should know about and put out there for everybody to know. If you have something like this in your title, just put urgent news on in the title. That way I see it, and I'll go through those first. It would help out a lot. But anyways, guys, here we go, 2022. Let's see how we get through it. I know we will. It may be rough, but we'll still get through it. Until next time, God bless.